Universal laws and self-evident truths explained with examples. Continue. Law 2. You can deny or ignore the truth, but you cannot disprove it. Let's start with the commonly accepted definition of truth, a fact that has been verified. There's another one in the dictionary that says conformity to reality or actuality. Looking at these two simple definitions for the first time, I'm struck by all the lies, rumors, deceptions, misrepresenting today passing and accepted as true. Don't get me wrong, I know sometimes lies, etc., happen quickly and you have to act immediately, i.e., doctors, police, etc. Those are easy to accept as the cost of living in these days and times. For whatever the reason they happen, fortunately, they are usually minor things relative to the larger scheme of things I'm about to share with you. I believe that if we deal with the major lies, the minor ones will decrease as well. I'm talking about the lies that persist for years and years as truth, even when it is shown that it doesn't pass this simple definitions test. How is this possible in these days and times? There has to be some other factors at play to explain this mystery. I mean, for everyone around the globe claiming to have the truth and know the truth, why is this world in the shape it is? Or are we afraid of the truth? If so, why? That's one of the questions raised by this universal law. You see, why would someone choose to live their life denying or ignoring what they know deep in their heart and soul to be true, according to the simple definitions mentioned earlier? Who told these people they get more by keeping a lie going, even when it's publicly known to be a lie? Which raises a very relevant question, which is, why do people choose a lie over the truth? Whether you know it or not, this is the key question to shine the light of day on the darkest lies ever passed off as true. Why? Because it's a self-evident truth that you cannot have one without the other. A liar and someone susceptible or known to believe lies. I mean, what's the use of lying to someone you know without doubt won't believe you because they know the truth? An even bigger question is, how do they know without doubt that we are susceptible or known to believe lies on a scale large enough to willingly destroy a planet, our planet, the only planet we have to live on? That's simple. They've been doing it to us for ages. Who is they, you ask? Well, unlike the conspiracy nut who see conspiracies under every rock but cannot point out the players, I have no problem pointing them out and bringing them into the light of day. We need to be able to recognize them in order to deal with the lies they pass and try to pass off as truth without our best interests at heart. I don't know their names and they come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. So to help you recognize them, I'll have them make themselves known. How will I do it? Simple truth. There's a saying, when you throw a brick into a pack of dogs, the one that barked is the one that got hit. So the brick I'm going to throw is the brick of truth, and I have an unlimited supply. So get ready because they can pop up where you least expected to see them and start barking and foaming at the mouth. How am I so sure? Because I'm claiming to be giving you truth according to the definitions we agreed on earlier. And if you deem my bricks to be untruths, then you will know I am the liar. You see, with that said, according to this universal truth, there's only two ways they can react. They can bark when my brick hit them, which will draw your attention to them, which they would then have to explain to you why they are barking at a truth you yourself agree fits the definitions we agreed to earlier. Remember, we're talking about major lies, the planet destroying kind. Even with their livelihoods and power at stake, they have to bark and will react. For them to let the real truth be spread among the people they built their fortunes off of is not an option. Even though they know the game is up, they'll try to drag it out as long as possible for various reasons. Fear and insecurity comes to mind for examples. I mean, their other option is to do nothing but accept the inevitable, that the game's over, the whole world knows that you was intentionally living a lie and helping the spread of what you knew to be lies to the destruction of the only planet we now have to live on. How likely is that to happen? Not likely. Some may, the younger ones, most, though, may have just been doing it so long that they believe their lies to be true. Those will be the ones that resist the hardest, unfortunately, because the truth and the lie cannot exist in an aware mind for long. One will win out. It's possible, though, that the lie can win out in some minds. despite knowing it's a lie, but that mind still hasn't disproved my or your truth. It just denied or is ignoring it for whatever futile reason. I know it's a lie and I'll change my behavior accordingly. Will you? This is why soon you will hear barking and see them foaming at the mouth, because their world will be coming to an end one way or the other. The time to choose to try another way is now. Now let's see about getting them dogs barking. I'll start with this so-called war on drugs, or lack thereof. I say that because even though I may not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, so to speak, even to a butter knife, it would seem that for as long as this so-called war has been going on, with the massive amounts of money, taxpayers, meaning your money, spent, shouldn't it be harder to find drugs? Any drugs. I shouldn't be able to plan my day if I chose to around drugs. I could wake up in the morning at 10 o'clock and by 11 o'clock I've scored whatever my drug of choice or drugs and back home in time to watch the talk shows. Even better than that, I can get it brought to me, home delivered. I had no doubt I could find drugs. Neither did you. You see it all the time and may partake yourself, socially that is. I don't care if you do or don't. That's not the point. The point is, where has all that money gone that we have been saying was for the war on drugs? While people are turning blue in the face complaining and others are dying from drug-related crimes which are on the rise, where is all our money going? There's only one credible answer according to our agreed on definitions of truth, and that is, they're not really fighting a war on or over drugs, as they would like the common person to believe. In fact, they're doing just the opposite. Oh, they may not come right out and say it in words or on camera, but if you look at their actions, what they do and don't do, and then the results, even a blind man can see that something isn't adding up. There's a saying that professional liars and con men and women use, and that is, when you lie, lie big and often. That way, when you have the right mark, someone susceptible to believing lies, the reward will be huge. The larger the lie, the more the reward. They are connected. Now, for why they feel they must keep this lie going even when they know they are living a lie, it's very simple. The money is too good. Drugs have been institutionalized so much so that to come up with the real strategy to actually win the war on drugs would be considered detrimental to our national economical security. Real talk. Drugs are big money to more than your conventional drug dealers. Here's a sample list of people who would be affected if a real strategy was developed to win the war on drugs. Police, drug counselors, POs, prison workers, jail workers, rehabs, club owners, luxury car makers, gun makers, jewelry makers, politicians, drug makers, lawyers, etc. This isn't a total list. This is just off the top of my head. Those that are directly affected. Indirectly affected will be families, communities, etc. With all these people getting their livelihood off the drug trade, can you now see why they don't act like they want to win the war on drugs? It's not in their best interest. If we let them, they will continue to drain the health and blood of this planet and country like a greedy parasite. I could go on with this subject, but hopefully your mind is open enough to see the self-evident truth for yourself. Just look around you. Now, if you've heard these words and feel the truth of them enough that you want to do something about it, I have a win-win solution that can give you the results you see. This may not be the only or even the best solution, but it is a solution that's different from what we so-called have now. The main difference between my solution and theirs is that mine is based on reality as it is. Also, I have your and my best interests at heart. I want the drug crime stopped, the addicts helped, communities prospering, and people prospering. I mean, who wouldn't want these things? Why don't they? When you hear them barking, please ask them if they are close to you. Now, in order for this solution to work, I have to dispel some of the lies and deceptions that has passed for truth. The main one is that by locking up drug dealers, they are waging war against drugs. How they pull this one off is amazing. Why? Because any sane person with eyes can see that when you lock up a drug dealer, another one or more takes his or her place. Speaking from first-hand knowledge, Not many drug addicts stop using because a dealer got arrested. They have backup plans. And I'll stop here and continue in a moment. Thank you for listening.